Hi, my name is Shane. I'm head of product at Brax. In this video, I'm going to walk you through each part of our system. If you'd like to skip ahead, pause the video now, and I'll include some timestamps for you. Of course, Brax is constantly evolving, so I won't be able to cover everything in one video. If you have questions, check our help section by clicking here. You can search your question, or feel free to contact us. This goes to our inbox, love@brax.io. Alright, why don't we get started? After signing up, you'll need to connect at least one account to start using Brax. We have guides on how to do this for each of our supported networks. Once you connect an account, make sure it's set to on. When connecting a tracker like Google Analytics or Volume, there will be a few extra steps, but don't worry, Brax will walk you through everything, and we're here if you need some extra help. In the bottom left, you can see which networks are connected. A red light means you'll need to fix the connection. You can click on this section to go straight to the integrations page from anywhere. Important to note on this page is the Sync Campaigns button. We sync data from the networks every hour, but you can start a sync as well if something's not coming through. You can see when your data was last synced by checking the status at the bottom of any page. We also include when the data was last imported, but we'll cover that later. This is where you can reset your password and change your email. You can also edit your access to connections here. If you're part of a team and have networks that need to stay connected but aren't related to your work, this is one way to filter those out. At the bottom of the page, we have a toggle for notifications. We recommend leaving this checked. The most important part of this page is user control. Add new users from this page by clicking this button. Enter their information here and select their role. Note that there are no major differences between roles, just that a marketer can't add new users or edit the billing information. Below, select which accounts they have access to. You can toggle all by clicking the button on the side, but they will need at least one account enabled. Once you finish, we'll email them a link to log in. You can also change your time zone, date format, and currency. Note that the currency indicator is purely aesthetic and won't make any actual conversions. This is where you can save your default tracking tags. This won't affect any of your existing campaigns, it'll only help you out later by pre-filling these fields when creating a new ad or campaign. Note that tracking is very important in getting the most out of Brax, and that's not what this video is about. But we do have lots of support documentation around this, and as always, feel free to reach out if you need any help. At the top, you'll have the option to select your connected conversion metrics. Right now, we only support Taboola and Outbrain conversion metrics. If you have Google Analytics connected, you'll find you can add GA metrics, like AdSense revenue, through the edit pencil right here. Let's check out imported metrics. This will be crucial when we bring in third-party data. It's recommended to name them something unique, as not to mix them up. Also, select the correct value type. We'll cover more about imported metrics a little later in the video. Calculated metrics are one of Brax's most creative features that let you come up with your own formulas to use pretty much anywhere in Brax. Click New Campaign at the top to get started. This should look familiar as we try and make available all of the campaign settings from the networks, as well as some added Brax features. I'll fill out a few of the standard fields, and let's take a look at the Brax fields together. The first of these is the Scheduler. It allows you to set budget, CPC, and status by time of day and day of the week. If you've built a targeting list, you can apply it here to block publishers in bulk. At the bottom of the page, you'll see the default tracking that we mentioned before. When you're finished, you can create or upload ads to the campaign. Let's create some together. Click New Ads. The New Ads page is a special tool in Brax that lets you create and manage ads in bulk. This is done by building a creative group that lives in Brax and can be cross-pushed to different networks. The first few fields are pretty self-explanatory. Let's hop into images and headlines. I've filled out a few already. Brax automatically creates variations, matching each image to each headline. We can also crop and edit the image right in Brax. If you have variations you don't want to save, simply click a preview to disable it. Hit Next. We'll offer you a list of your accounts, and you can select as many campaigns as you'd like from those accounts. Mobile and desktop, US and Asia, it's your choice. You can also schedule them to be uploaded at a later time. If you're not sure yet, you can always save the group for later without uploading. This will take you to our Details page. Each of your creative groups has a page. You can access this from the Creatives button on the left. From here, you can make changes to the creative group, such as name or headline. If you think of a new headline, you can duplicate an ad and edit it here. Through the menu on the right, you can add new creatives using the bulk tool from before. You can export to this group, or you can duplicate it. Let's upload this group. Notice here that you can choose to upload it to multiple networks. When it's done, you'll be taken to our ad history page. Here, you can see the status of our ads and click into any job ID for more information. This will be the page you see every time you log in, and will pretty much act as your home page. For this video, we'll be using a test account to show you the structure of this page. Know that this will be filled with all of your data from across the networks. We also have this page to compare ads and publishers here. Okay, let's start to break this down. In the graph above, you can compare different metrics, choosing the date range for your data. Below the graph is the table. You can choose to filter a variety of ways by account or status. You can also use the search box on the side to search by name. Keep in mind that the totals and graph won't change based on your search. Let's cover actions you can make from this table. You can play or pause individually or in bulk. You can click the pencil to jump to the edit screen. You can also click the pages to duplicate a campaign, taking you to a pre-filled create screen. Lastly, you can hide a campaign. This is Brax specific and will not pause a campaign, nor will it archive it. It will simply remove it from the table unless Include Hidden is checked. You can use this to keep your table tidy if there are lots of old campaigns you just don't want to see anymore. We can also edit a CPC or budget inline for quick changes. Something to note is that you can sort and reorder the columns, creating a view you'd like. You can select new columns by using the button on the right. As you add more integrations and metrics, you can find them here. Important to note is that as you make changes to this table, it'll only affect this screen and only for the logged in user. Lastly, if you'd like to export this view, you can click the Export button here. So now let's take a detailed look at a campaign by clicking its name. The Campaign Manager will have your campaign's information at the top, as well as some of those actions that we've discussed before. You can quickly change to another campaign here. Below is a graph and a table, similar to our main reporting screen. The first page is broken out by day, but you can also break out data by other network-specific dimensions. Don't forget rule history, which will show you how this campaign has been affected by rules, which we'll cover later. This will allow you to download a log of all your campaigns in Excel format and make changes at scale. You can also create campaigns this way, using an existing campaign as a template. It can't be overstated how powerful this tool is. It allows you to take a single campaign setting and apply it to all of your accounts, as well as create new accounts based on those same settings. Feel free to reach out to us for more about the Power Editor. While the data that we have access to is great, what happens if you want to use data from a source we don't support yet? That's where data import comes in. We allow you to import data from any source possible, and we do have an API to automate this process as well. Let's say you're using Salesforce and you want to import your Salesforce leads. Assuming we set up our metrics earlier, all you have to do is make sure the data fits the template. You can attribute down to the ad and publisher, but for now we'll stick to the campaign. Make sure to remove any unnecessary fields. Now, let's upload this data. You can see a preview of your data to make sure it's correct. We need at least campaign name, source, and a date to make a match. When we check our campaign, you'll see that our leads are now here. This data can also be used in rules or as part of a calculated metric. Alright, let's take a look at rules. Rules are a way to take action across all or some of your campaigns based on conditions that you set. As an example, let's create a new update campaign bids rule. Give it a name, and we'll set to a calculated metric so that each bid is determined by a formula. I'm going to go ahead and set a few conditions. Keep in mind when you do this, you can use data from the network's Google Analytics, imported metrics, and calculated metrics. Click Save and Preview. Keep in mind this is a test account, but I want to show you this page anyway. Notice how your campaigns are checked against each criteria to make sure the rule works. We always recommend running your rule a few times manually before automation. If you like what you see, click Confirm to perform the changes. Scheduling in Brax lets you run your rules automatically. To create a new schedule, click the New Schedule button. Let's set a name and a few times that the rules will be executed. You can set as many rules to a schedule as you'd like. For example, one rule could raise a CPC while another raises a budget. There's no limit to the amount of schedules a rule can be applied to at once. Your schedule will run as soon as possible, but if you'd like, you can choose your own start and end dates. Every time your schedule is run, you can check it in your rule history. Keep in mind, if there's nothing to change, a new entry won't be created. Lastly, another tip is that you can create a new schedule from the new rules page. Targeting lists allow you to quickly apply a block list to a new campaign. You can build this out in a few ways. The first would be through reporting. We have an Add to List button. You can also add entries one at a time or import them from an Excel sheet.
And that's it. So that's everything I could cover in this video. If you'd like to go in detail, feel free to reach out to us. Once again, I'm Shane, and thank you for watching.